Jared Briggs Show. Sitting here ready to rock and roll, and I'm not even ready. There we go. Now we're ready. YouTube's rolling. Facebook. Here we go, Facebook. So let's see if we can get Instagram. For any of you that have ever tried to go live or do any of these things, Facebook and Instagram are kind of difficult because they're owned by the same company and they're supposed to talk to each other. But Austin, I don't know anything about what's going on. Getting Facebook and Instagram to go, we get the spinning wheel of death and trying to get them connected. And you think they'd be easy. Thought about it. Oh, man. That's all right. We'll just go Facebook and YouTube. We'll stick with what's working. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it's not running the time. See, there was somewhere that did it. Maybe it was when we were doing podcasts. That's probably what it was. Oh, 1 minute. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's just off of Facebook. Okay. YouTube. Okay. Okay, guys. We're ready to rock and roll. Thanks, Austin. All right, guys. Welcome to the Jared Briggs Show. Today we are going to be talking about money is as good, ... We got three different topics. I've really enjoyed going live and answering Reddit questions. Any of you that haven't listened or watched, I've been going to Reddit, and there's questions on there and just answering the questions, and that's been a lot of fun. The second thing we're going to talk about is the money reset, where we talk about like how well do you know your income, creating a plan, and increasing income. And then this money is as good. Excuse me. Let me share. I would say this is my quote. Maybe I've heard it somewhere else. Maybe we need to do a search. But I've started saying this. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. I started saying this months ago. I don't even remember when. And I've really liked it. Like, it's come to my mind often as kind of an educational thing within myself. So if somebody else has said that, let me know. But if not, that is my quote. It really doesn't matter. But anyway, money is as good as the investment you make with it. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? What does that mean? We're just jumping right in. We're going to talk about a few different topics here going live. Hey, and if you guys catch this video, I've been going live every single weekday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The times, depending on what's going on, trying to do it anywhere from 10:30 to 2 o'clock. We've been trying a lot of different times to see if we get better engagement. We haven't got much engagement, I'll just be honest with you. We've gotten some, though, as we've posted it to YouTube and Facebook and those different accounts. Anyway, if you would like to join live and ask questions and have a conversation about money, I would love to. You guys put it in the chat on YouTube, Instagram, well, when freaking Instagram wants to work. So Facebook and YouTube, we'll go with that for right now. And we've been working to maybe get TikTok and stuff going too, but we've been working on all these things. Done is better than perfect. We haven't got it perfect yet, but we've been getting it done. Last Tuesday through Friday we did this, and today is Monday. Were you guys excited about Monday? I was. It's an opportunity to accomplish goals and dreams. So if you hate going to work, if you hate what you're doing, start doing things that you enjoy doing and turn that into your full time. So there's some motivational stuff. Do it every chance you can. Because I want to do this full time. Like Joe Rogan does this full time. I think that's freaking incredible. That this is his thing, is podcasting and social media and all that kind of stuff. So, would love for you guys to join live and ask questions. So this whole conversation of money is as good as the investment you make with it. What does that really mean? I look at it from a personal perspective. Money's fake. Money isn't real. Like the dollar, the $5, the $10, the every dollar, the cents, the everything that we have, in monetary value that we have in today's world of American cash, commodities, all the stuff that we have, it isn't real. Commodities. I don't know why I said commodities. Commodities is not in there. I meant cash. The $20 bill is not real. The only reason why a $20 bill is a $20 bill is because you and I agree that it's a $20 bill. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by silver. It is literally debt. It is debt against the government. The Federal Reserve is a privately held company. It is not the federal government. The IRS works for the Federal Reserve. There's so many things to go on with that. So money is as good as the investment you make with it. So I want you to think about it. If you stop at the gas station and you walk in the gas station and buy a drink and a candy bar and pay $10 for it, in that moment, at that time, you value the candy bar and the drink more than you value the $10. I'm not saying that's a good investment. I'm not saying that's a bad investment. That is a personal choice on your end. So money is as good as the investment you make with it. What are you truly doing with your money? How are you managing your money? What things are you putting your money into? Are you putting it in the stock market? Are you investing it into real estate? Are you investing it into the business? Are you investing it into your own personal knowledge? Are you not doing anything with money right now? You're just living paycheck to paycheck and just life is what it is. Okay? Money is as good as the investment you make with it. This is something that has really helped me. There's always shiny objects, you guys. I could go out to a store right now and buy a new gun. I could go buy a new truck. I could buy a side-by-side. I could buy an unreal amount of things. There's a lot of really cool things that people have invented and created in today's world, and it's fun to enjoy them. But I have this thing within me where I try to stay disciplined. It doesn't always happen. I make stupid financial decisions often, but I try to learn from them. But I look at things that I want to buy if I'm in a store or something, and I will literally tell myself, I'm like, okay, I really like this. I really want this, but I'm going to give it 24 hours. I'm going to give it 24 hours. And if after 24 hours I still really want it, I'm going to create a plan to accomplish it, to achieve it. I actually was just telling Austin before we hit record, I've been wanting to buy like a little truck, a little four-door like Toyota Tacoma, Ford Ranger, Nissan, what are those little Nissan Frontiers? Something like that to run around town. My wife and I running out to her parents to help them with ranch and cattle, and a little run-around vehicle. Like if you dent it, who cares? If you scratch it, who cares? If the kids get in with their dirty boots, who cares? Like a truck like that, right? And I've wanted one for a while, but they're kind of an investment, right? Something that you want to last a long time. And so I look at things like this and I'm like, okay, money is as good as the investment you make with it. Like, what is the problem? What is the thing that I'm really accomplishing or solving with this? And so I'll tell myself, okay, I'm going to wait 24 hours. Like if I'm in a store and there's a new gun or a new jacket or pair of clothes or shoes or just any of the things, right? Like a Murdoch's or IFA or just any of those country stores, I could spend a ton of money in there. And if after 24 hours, I'm like, it'd be nice, but whatever. I'm like, okay, I really didn't want it. Like I just saved myself money, right? But if it is something that I do want, and I've got an obsessive personality, I really want to fly, fish, and pull, so I've been looking at those and a bunch of other things. I look at those things all the time. And I'm like, if I really want it, I'm going to think about it for a long time, and I'm going to plan, and I'm going to study, and I'm going to look at it, make sure I buy it at the right time and the right thing and all of those. Okay, I relate that back to money is as good as the investment you make with it. And the reason why is you get to make that decision every single day. Every single day based on the things that you're buying, the things you're not buying, the things that you're spending money on, the investments you're making, everything that has to do with money, as well as time. You guys, time is the most valuable asset that we have. So you could even say time is as good as the investment you make with it. Your time, are you going to sit there and watch a show? Or are you going to read a book that teaches you some new knowledge or information? Are you going to invest in this type of an investment with your money? Or are you going to go spend it at the gas station buying X, Y, and Z, right? I'm using these all as an example. I'm not here to tell you that buying stuff at the gas station is right or wrong. It's dependent on what it is that you want to buy. I like energy drinks. I know they're not good for you. I don't freaking need anybody to sit here and tell me that they're not good for me. Every time I bring up an energy drink, people are like, oh, you know those aren't good for you. Yeah, well, it's my guilty pleasure, okay? White Monsters, those sugar-free White Monsters, they got a hold on me. And I'll admit it. I freaking like them. Okay. But you can stop at a gas station right now where I live. If you buy 2 of them, it's $5.50. Or you can go to Walmart and buy a 12-pack for like $23, $24. Okay? So, like, think about the things you're buying. Be smarter with the things you're buying. You know, if you have to have a cup of coffee every morning, maybe it would be worth buying the $1,000 coffee machine that makes it, the latte or whatever it is that you want, that makes it exactly how you want to make it. People will sit here and spend $5 every single day. I've got I was actually having a conversation with a family member the other day, and we talked about this. They're like, dude, they'll spend $20 every day like nothing. But anytime you bring up something that's $500, they're like, oh, that's too expensive. Dude, you spend $500 every couple weeks just on knick-knack crap. Okay? There's nothing wrong with spending money. There's nothing wrong in investing into those things that you enjoy. If you enjoy your coffee, you enjoy your energy drink, but like maybe be a little bit smarter about it. If you have to have that fancy latte every morning, maybe become a barista yourself. Maybe go buy that fancy coffee machine. I don't care if it costs $1,000. I mean, do the math. I mean, a nice coffee is like $7. So if you bought it for $1,000 divided by $7, that's only 142 days. 142 days. So 142, so 365 divided by 142. You guys, you paid for that thing, holy fetch, 7 times. And I know everybody doesn't do it every day, but 365. So if you bought a $7 coffee every single day, that's $2,500 a year. You could buy a really, 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 really fancy coffee machine for, I don't think they cost $2,500. I mean, I'm no coffee expert. I don't drink coffee a lot. Once in a while, I enjoy a coffee. I'll be honest with you guys. But, I mean, think about that. So if I buy my energy drinks, you guys, I'll go to Walmart and buy a 12-pack, and I save myself quite a bit of money. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. Okay, I'm going to relate this back and kind of share another perspective of it. What about retirement planning? What about buying vehicles? What about buying houses? What about buying education? What about buying toys? You know, snowmobiles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, side-by-sides, boats, skidoos. Holy cow, there's a lot of different toys and things that you could buy. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. Like, really sit down and calculate it. One thing I tell people all the time, there's a very, very high chance that I will never own a boat in my life. And the reason why is because those nice ski boats are, $60,000 on the low end. That's a used one. You can spend $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 really quick on those nice ski boats to go that creates the wake and does all that cool stuff. I can go rent one for a weekend, even if it costs me $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Do you know how many weekends I can rent that thing before I'm ever going to get close to how much I'm going to pay for it, let alone insurance, maintenance, all of those things? So if I want to take my family out on a boat, you guys, 99.9% of the time, I'm going to rent it. Now, if my family gets way into it, like my camper, we love camping. We use it multiple times every single year. I bought a camper. Now, if you're one that goes camping once a year, there's now these apps like Airbnb for houses where you can rent someone's camper, brand new, really nice camper. You can rent it for like $80 a day, $150 a day, depending on how big and nice. If you only go camping once or twice a year, you should totally do that. And if it's something you do once in a while, maybe totally do that. That's how I look at a boat. The chances of me buying a boat are pretty much nothing because I don't really like the water to begin with. I don't know why. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little bit scared of the water. When it's black and dark, I don't like it. Like I'm vulnerable in the water. I'm not a good swimmer, and it scares the freaking crap out of me. I don't like being out in deep water. Like when I was a little kid, I'd even get scared of a swimming pool. I do not like the water. The ocean, forget it. I would never go out on a boat and just jump into the black water and swim right there. No freaking way. If there was people in the water, because if there are sharks and there's 10 of you, you got a very small chance, 10% chance, right, of getting eaten by the shark. But if you're the only one in the water, you're going to get eaten by a shark. Off topic. Anyway, a boat isn't a smart investment for me because I really don't like the water. I barely go to the lake, hardly. So if my family's like, hey, it would be fun to go down to St. George, to Lake Powell. Cool, we're going to rent one. I don't care if it costs us $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I would much rather pay that than pay the $750 monthly payment, right? So just be smart with that. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. This saying is something that really helped me pay attention to what I'm spending my money on. Like, I even think about it when going out to eat. There's sometimes where even me personally, buying lunches or stuff like that, I'm like, I need to get a little bit better. Like, I've spent $150 this week just on food or whatever. And I get it. It's so much easier to make $150 a week than it is to spend or to save $150. It's easier to collect $150 than it is to save $150. I get that. But still, from the perspective of just being smart with our money, right? But then also health conscious. Like, I can cook food way healthier than I can go buy it for, like 9 out of 10 times. And so that's another mindfulness thing with it, like in time as an investment and also money as an investment. Like, what is the best use of food to nurture my body? Okay, I'm going to say it again. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. Every time you go to spend money, every time you're doing something, answering a question, should I rent a house or should I buy a house? Well, money is as good as the investment you make with it. Are you better off, everybody thinks owning a house is the smartest financial thing that you can do. And I'm saying this, you guys, I own a house. I get it. But where I live, there's like nowhere to rent. And it was the right time for my wife and I, and we solved a problem that we had. But for most people, I think renting is the smartest decision until you are permanent, until you have a really good financial situation, because people talk about the equity you're gaining, but nobody talks about how much it costs to run a house. You've got your payment, you've got your interest, you've got your taxes, and then you've got your maintenance. Maintenance is freaking ridiculous on a house. You guys, we spend money on our house every month outside of the payment and the interest on little knick-knack freaking things that break, or, oh, we need this, or we need that, or, oh, how about we update this? Like, it never ends. You think it will. I'm here to tell you, we've been in our house going on 3 years now. It never freaking ends. And I'm like, I used to look at when we were renting for $800 a month, like, oh my gosh, we're just throwing $800 away. I freaking wish I had an $800 rental payment now. I mean, I enjoy our house. I love our house. I'm grateful for our house. It accomplished a big thing. But you guys, we are spending way more money on our house now than we ever did renting. In a year, I bet in a year we spend more on our mortgage. Oh, we totally do. On our mortgage and maintenance than we did in 2 or 3 years of renting. Easy. Nobody shares that kind of stuff. Everybody just talks about, oh, you're gaining equity. You're gaining equity. It's going to yourself. You should look at the freaking interest you're paying and the taxes. Our taxes have gone up like $700 since we moved into our house. You've got to look at all these things. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. Now, we built this house to sell. My wife and I generaled our house ourselves. We put a ton of sweat equity into it. We did a lot of the dirt work, the siding, painting, finish work, floors, all the tile work. Like, we did a ton of work ourselves and saved like $200,000 from what a general contractor was going to charge us. And so, yeah, that's great and all, but we're still paying a ton on all the maintenance and finishing projects. We put $10,000 to $20,000 a year finishing our house. When we started building our house, interest rates were like 2.8%. When we closed, it was 6%. So we were racing the clock. So I finally asked the inspector, I was like, what has to be done? And we're only doing that. Everything else we didn't finish. So now we're finishing it with our own freaking money instead of putting it on the mortgage, which is great and all. Anyway, we invested into it for a perspective of we want to sell our house eventually, take that equity and roll it into our dream home. So we had a plan, and the plan is being executed, and it's working really well. But we had a plan because we looked at our money, okay? I'm literally going to show you guys. Here's my notepad, okay? I'm going to circle money. Money, okay? Money is as good as the investment you make with it. You got to do planning. You got to do preparation. You got to really know things specifically. So I wanted to share that quote with you guys because it makes me think all the time from a perspective of, am I being smart with the things that I'm doing with my money? All right, topic number 2. Now I'm going to look at this, 11 minutes, 30 seconds. So we're going to start creating more content with all this stuff. So I had to take notes for Austin. You guys, Austin's the real deal. You guys need to meet Austin. Austin's a good dude. All right, I'm going to talk about the money reset for a second. The money reset is something I've talked about every single day that I've done this live. This is a wealth creation plan. This is getting right with money. This is becoming the master of your money. This is you taking charge and you starting to tell your money what to do instead of your money telling you what to do. It's the biggest pandemic in today's world. 100%, you guys. We look at taxes and government and politics and inflation and all these things that is the problem. The problem today, when we talk about our money system, the financial situation of the United States of America, the biggest problem is us, the people. It is our education. It is our knowledge. I would advise and invite all of you to start studying the Federal Reserve. There's a book called Creatures from Jekyll Island, and it talks about what's going on in our financial system. I'm reading a book right now, Pirates of Manhattan. It's talking about mutual funds. It's talking about 401ks. It's talking about IRAs. It's talking about stocks. There's a person in there. This is the interesting. There's a person in there. He was a stock advisor for like multiple of the largest stock companies in the world. I can't even remember all the names of these companies that he worked for. And when he retired, he put out a statement, individuals should not invest in stocks. Now, it's an interesting perspective. The book is not The Richest Man in Babylon. That's a good freaking book, too. Pirates of Manhattan. I'm going to pull it up on Amazon for you guys real quick. Pirates of Manhattan. I'm going to show you guys the title real quick. By James Dyke. Here is what the book looks like. If you guys are on video, okay, it's a really cool book. He actually goes into talking about whole life insurance and why it's such a good investment. You guys don't need to read that part of it, but the first part of it like really opened my eyes to what's going on in the mutual fund industry and all those different things. It's kind of freaking crazy. So I advise you guys to look at those things. So I was saying the biggest pandemic in today's world is our financial situation. And our financial situation isn't the problem of the government. It's not the problem of the IRS. It's not the problem of the Federal Reserve. It's not the problem of any of those things. Now, they are at the problem. They are the ones that have leveraged the ignorance of the American people. You guys, it's a brutal freaking way of saying it. And the frustrating thing about all of this is there's things that I know in my life that I need to do better at. And I've thought about these things for 10, 15, 20 years now. And I battle with it. I mentally battle with it. And so, like eating right or exercising or getting on top of my finances even more or saving better or investing better or all of these things, like going through my finances. I'm terrible at QuickBooks and all those different things. I'll think about it and I'll purposely like avoid it. And the problem and the frustration that I've had with doing this show and talking about these things is the things that I need to talk about and that I want to talk about and that I feel a pulling and a desire to talk about. I know somebody's going to pull up their phone and they're going to come across my video and I'm going to say something like, oh, the biggest problem is the American people. Swipe. Like, I get that. It's something that we don't want to hear. It's something that we don't want to face. It's reality. And I understand that. But I'm learning and I'm trying to figure out some other way to share it from the perspective that will connect with people. I'm kind of a raw person. And I'm gonna give an example. I really like Andy Frisella. Andy Frisella has a podcast. If you guys have ever heard of the company First Forum, Andy Frisella he says it how it is. And he'll freaking drop the F-bomb left and right and tell you you're being a freaking idiot and blah, 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 blah. I like that kind of stuff, guys. And I'm not sitting here saying you guys should listen to it or you should like it as well. I like that. I like when people just get to the point. And so I'm trying to figure out how can I share this information from a perspective that will connect with people. Because I don't like watching the American people struggle financially. I hate it. It's what motivates me to do the things that I do. And to do this show and all this, I don't like the judgment. I don't like the people who the hell does Jared Briggs think he is talking about that kind of stuff? You guys, there's literally people in my community that have said that, and it's gotten back to me. And I'm like, man, that's not why I'm doing it. I do it and I share these things because of the thousands of conversations that I've had listening to people struggle financially and be mad financially and being stressed financially and living paycheck to paycheck and worrying about retirement. You guys, it's something like 62 to 67% of people are retiring, worrying about running out of money in retirement. Don't you think that's a freaking problem? And that's the thing that I look at is I'm like, okay, let's just call it in the middle, 65%. Because some statistics say 62, some say 67. Let's just say 65 or 64. 64 and a half. We're just going to say 65 because it's an easy number. Let's say 65% of people. So 6.5 people out of 10 are worried about running out of money in retirement. All right? They're worried about not having enough. They're worried about the cost of healthcare. They're worried about the cost of inflation. They're worried about the cost of housing and groceries and cars and fuel and all of the freaking things that they need on a day-to-day basis. You guys, that ain't even including vacations or any enjoyment. People are just stressed about surviving. What the frick are we doing? If that is the worry and the stress, then why the hell are we repeating what they are doing? If they are 65, 60, 68, 70, and they did all the things that we were told to do, go to school, get a good job, or go to school, get an education, get a good job, stick with that company for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, invest into their retirement accounts, put money here, put money there. If these people did that, and yet more than half of them are stressed about money in retirement, what are we doing? I had somebody the other day ask, I literally had somebody in my office like, yeah, I've always wondered why they're retiring. They are retiring. And they're stressed about their money. And they said, they're like, yeah, 20 years ago, we used to always think, man, why are all these old people being greeters at Walmart and working at these places? Like, aren't they retired? And they're like, now we get it. Because we did what we were told to do, and we have a pretty good retirement, but we're a little bit worried about it running out. And I'm like, man, isn't that freaking ridiculous? Like, what are we doing? So these are the things that I want to share. And I'm not sharing anything is right or wrong or perfect, because like I've said before in my other shows, my other lives, last Friday and Thursday and stuff, I don't believe there is one financial plan. I don't think there's one right way to do stuff. I don't believe that at all. The right way is the one that you believe in. But we've got to start taking some initiative in our own personal lives as the American people and start learning more about what money is and how money works and what to do with money, and really study and learn where our money is going and what it is doing. I'm going to share with you guys right now that I've studied a lot of retirement accounts, not even retirement accounts, investment accounts. Like, I've studied investment accounts from all the advice that we've been giving. And I've found for myself, and my wife and I have agreed together that we're going to take a completely different route than the traditional way of investing. We're taking a completely different route. Like, it is so left field that I studied it for a year and a half before I even invested a penny into it, because it's so left field. Like, it's so left field that it scared the living crap out of me. But once I started using it and learning it, I was like, oh, crap, I think we made the right investment. Every financial tool was created for a reason. Every single financial tool was created for a reason. Okay? I'm a big fan of life insurance. I think life insurance in today's world is the best investment somebody can make, and particularly whole life insurance. The dividend-paying, paid-up additions, whole life insurance that grows cash value and a death benefit. You get to control those things, like, set up properly. It is a really cool investment. I'm not a fan of index universal life policies because of the situations I've had with clients and the things that I've studied. Term life has a purpose, but I don't think people should have all their money in term life insurance. Did you guys know 97% of all term life insurance is never claimed? 97% of term life insurance is never claimed. So if you're paying $100 a month into a policy right now, you've got a 3% chance you're going to get any of that money back. Pretty low odds, very low odds. But I do own a lot of term life insurance on myself and my wife because of the financial strategy and plan that we have created. So this is why I share every financial tool was created for a reason. Term life insurance, you can buy a couple $1 million policy for cheap comparative to an index universal life, a whole life, or any of those other type of life insurance policies. You know, I've got a $2 million policy on myself for less than $100 a month. Okay. At my age, at my time, I have that because to buy the amount of life insurance that I want for my family, it would cost me a boatload of money in whole life insurance. So until I get there, I'm going to leverage term life insurance, okay? It's like $83 a month for my policy, less than $100 a month. So I'm going to leverage that until my whole life policies are getting to the point of where my terms are, then I'll cancel those. So I'm leveraging those policies as a tool, as a resource to get my other things where I want them to get to. But if I pass away premature, I know that my family's taken care of. That is the value of life insurance. The next thing is 100% tax-free, completely tax-free, okay? So I share with you that every financial tool, a 401k, a mutual fund, a stock, holy crap, there's even a fixed index annuity. You guys, annuities are flipping cool. When you learn how they work and what they do, it is a great way to protect retirement income if you study them and learn them. Is it perfect for everybody? No. Is it a valuable tool and a resource used correctly? Yes, it can be. Every financial tool is created for a reason. Another thing is every financial tool is created to create more money. You know, guys, I'm a salesman. I sell insurance for a living currently at the moment. You got to look at that. Like if an insurance agent says, hey, you should buy this. Why? You should question it. I have people question me all the time, and I'm like, I'm glad you questioned me. I'm freaking glad you questioned me. Here's some things I want you to go study. I will literally tell clients that. I will give them, like, what do you want? What are you willing to read? What are you willing to study? I'll give you everything you want. Okay? Because you should question everything. You should study it from your own perspective. So I went off on that tangent because I want to share the money reset is a topic that I talk about where I think everybody should audit themselves, audit where they are financially and create a better financial plan. The money reset is step number one. You need to know your income. You need to know how much money it is that you are collecting on a day-to-day basis, whether it be you get paid every week, every day, every month, every quarter, however you get paid. I don't care. You need to know your income. My wife and I get paid. My wife gets paid twice a month. I get paid once a month. So I manage our money month to month. The first of every single month, I sit down and I manage our money. I see how much money my wife's job brought in that month, and then I pay myself and figure all that income in, okay? You need to know your money. The second step is you need to create a wealth creation plan. And within that wealth creation plan, some people call it a budget. I'm just going to freaking say that, but I don't like the word budget because it's limiting. Go listen to my other videos. I hate budgets. I want to create a wealth creation plan. Because we can sit here and focus on how to save and cut out, or we can focus out on how to increase. A wealth creation plan is focused on increasing, growing, and benefiting. A budget is, well, how do we save more? I don't care about saving more. You guys, I want to tell my money what to do, and I want my money to make more money. I don't want to save money. I want to invest and grow and build and live in abundance. So I want to create a wealth creation plan. How can my saving, my discipline turn into more and create the life that it is that we want to live? A wealth creation plan encompasses step number one. You need to know your income. Then you need to know your expenses. I break it down into fixed expenses and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are those ones that stay the same every single month. House, rent, car payments, some insurances, some tax things, some utilities, depending on what it is, some are the exact same every single month. The internet bill doesn't change much, right? The power bill changes every single month. It's close. That's a variable expense. Okay, it changes variably. So you need to know your income, you need to know your fixed expenses, you need to know your variable expenses, and then you need to know your wealth creation plan. This is where is your money going, okay? What I'm talking about is we're saving for a house, we're saving for a business, we're doing this retirement account, we're going to invest into this, blah, 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 blah. You know, if you, at the end of your income minus your expenses, there's $600, $700, $800, $900 every single month left over, what are you doing with that money? Where are you telling it where to go? You see, the concept of pay yourself first. Are you paying everybody else, or are you paying yourself? You got to create a plan where you're paying yourself first, and then you create that wealth creation plan so you're telling your money where to go every single month. I'm going to use a simple example here. I told my wife I want to create a plan. I want to get more prepared. The economy's wild, you guys. We had a government shutdown for months. There's all kinds of things going on politically. Well, what if all of a sudden the power got shut off, or war broke out, or grocery stores, water, all of these things, it just went crazy, and we had to survive on our own for a week or two. I mean, look at what happened with the government shutdown. How many people were without food because they rely 100% on food stamps? Okay, there's a number of things, and I believe in the scriptures where it says, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. So I told my wife, I created a specific account in our savings account, and I labeled it for preparation. And I'm going to stick $300 a month into this account to buy more preparation type stuff. I'm not a doomsday planner or any of those things, you guys. I think things are going to get way better, but I don't want to be not prepared because I don't want to be caught with my pants around my ankles. I believe and I trust that our economy, our country is going to be strong for forever. Crisis is going to come one day. When that is, I don't know. It's none of my business to know. My business is to be prepared, okay? So if you are prepared, you shall not fear. So I specifically created within our wealth creation plan, hey, I'm going to plan $3,600 this next year towards preparation stuff, food, water, clothing, shelter type things, all these different things that we might need in an emergency situation, okay? So that's one part, wealth creation plan. My wife and I we get money every single month that we get to spend on whatever it is that we want. Plus we have our other investments and things that we're doing that every month we categorize money. We tell it where to go and what to do. You see, if you don't tell your money where to go, it'll go find somebody else that does. It'll just freaking vanish. The whole concept of there's more mouth than money. I don't know where my money is going. What's going on? All of these things that people say all the time. It's because you're not telling your money what to do. It's just a fart in the wind. It's gone. She gone. Okay? So creating a wealth creation plan puts you in charge. Step number 3 is increasing income. Now, knowing your income, creating a wealth creation plan, and having this whole system puts you in a powerful position because you are in control now. You know your subscriptions. You know where your money's going. You know what you're spending your money on. And it's also a mindful thing too. And it's also going to put you in a position where you're going to start saving more money. Now, saving money is for a purpose. You should never just save to save. If you save for a rainy day, guess what's freaking going to happen? A rainy day. If you save for an emergency, guess what's going to happen? An emergency. Okay? Save for the purpose of investing. Save for the purpose of growing. Save for the purpose of increasing. By doing this, you are automatically going to increase your income because you're going to have more money in your bank account. You're going to have more money in your investment accounts. You're going to have more money to spend on education. Because I'm a huge person of education. Now, I didn't go to college. I went to 1.5 semesters of college. I was like a couple weeks into my second semester, and I was like, this ain't it. I told my wife, I was like, I'm done with school. I'm going to finish out the semester, barely, and I'm out. I ain't doing this anymore. So I have 0 college degrees, no college degrees. But I invest a significant amount of money. I invest as much as a freaking, so I've invested, I don't even know, probably like a vet or something. I don't know how much money they'll spend, but I invest a significant amount of money in my education. This is from the perspective of coaches, courses, books, mastermind opportunities, conventions. My wife and I have gone to stuff together. I'm a huge believer in these things because if I can go gain knowledge from somebody else that's already doing what it is that I want to do, if I go give them $5,000 and I get to be a part of their whatever, well, what if I learn one thing that makes me $20,000 over the next 2 years? Look at the return on investment. I just invested $5,000 and I'm going to make $20,000 over the next 2 years. Like that's a great return on investment. Okay. I'm a big believer in those things. And I think it's kind of silly that we've created a society. People will go get student loans like nothing, or they'll go spend money at a college or trade school, which I'm a believer in, you guys. If If you want to go trades are making unreal amount of money right now. College, you spend 2 years in generals. That gives you freaking nothing. Unless you have a specific purpose for your college degree, you are wasting your time and your money. My wife has a master's degree. She had a specific purpose and a plan. She was on the dean's list. She most of the time got more scholarship than tuition. Utah State University wrote my wife a check many semesters where she had more scholarship than tuition, so they'd write her a check. We went on a cruise paid for. It was freaking awesome, okay? But she had a plan and a purpose. She knew she wanted her animal science degree. She knew she wanted her animal nutrition degree, and she has a great job because of it, and she loves her career, and she enjoys it, and she fast-tracked it. She got it done even quicker than it should have been. Bam. Like she executed. But all you people that are just like, we'll see where it takes me, wasting time and money. You'd be so much better off going and getting a job, figuring out what it is that you want to do. And then once you figure it out, if that thing requires or recommends a college degree, boom, go execute. Go get a 4-year degree in 3 years. Like fast track it. Take summer classes, fast track that sucker because you're laser focused now. Okay, I'm a big person of education, but education doesn't just mean college, doesn't mean trade school, doesn't mean anything. Guys, there's so much information now. There's an unreal amount of information online, courses, coaches. Now, there's good stuff out there, and there's a lot of bad stuff out there. I've invested into some things that I wish I didn't, but we learn what we learn, okay? The third step with increasing income, you're going to automatically do because of your management system. But now you've got a system. You've got a process. You can take all of your time, energy, and effort that you've been taking on worrying and stressing and trying to figure out money, and now take 5% and manage your money. The other 95% of your energy and time, focus on increasing income. What could you do to get that promotion in your company or get that raise or start that side business or start that side hustle or buy that course and program that's going to teach you those things. I just invested into a lady that has been very successful online, making money online. And I'm like, man, what if I could learn in a month or two what it took her years to learn and start doing what it is that I want to do quicker? I'm gonna leverage that money and that time and fast track those things. Okay. Invest into yourself, invest into all of those things and increase your income. You guys, it is so much easier to increase your income by $2,000 a month than it is to save $2,000 a month. You should change your mindset. So instead of focusing on what can we cut, okay, where can we make money? What are we missing? What are we not seeing? And increase your income. Increase it 1,000, 500, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever the goal and dreams and passions and desires you have. Increase your income to those things. It is so much easier than saving. If you have a desire to buy a home and you need $50,000 down payment, but you only make $50,000 a year, it's going to take you a minute. With today's economy and with inflation, you guys, it's going to take you a minute to save for that. But what if you could increase your income $50,000 a year? You could buy that house in the next year or two. The other way around, it's going to take you years. It's just a mindset shift. It's just a growth. And I encourage you to challenge your way of thinking and challenge the things that you're doing, okay? All right, so that's the money reset. I enjoy talking about this, and I believe in this system, and I know it can help you. I really do, by knowing your income, creating a wealth creation plan, and then focusing on increasing income. The last part of the show, which is going to start at 43:30, we are going to talk about some questions on Reddit. If any of you have been listening or watched my previous shows, you guys, this has been really fun. And I'm actually going to pull this up, and I'm going to see if I can check the live right here and see if there are any questions before we jump right in. Nothing there. And on YouTube, we got nothing. Okay, that's all right. Nobody watching, and that's all right. That's totally fine. Okay, we're gonna jump right into Reddit, and we are gonna check out some questions. I had one pop up right here. Okay, you guys, this is off Reddit. This is off the Saving Money page, and we're gonna go over a couple of these questions because I really enjoy this like real, live, raw kind of information. And who knows, it might be questions that you guys have, or maybe you're the one that asked it on Reddit and you come across my video one day. How freaking cool would that be? All right, this is from equivalent_use_5024. Is it better to save for retirement or for a house? What is your goal? 26M. I don't know what 26M means. That's what it starts out with. I only started seriously contemplating retirement when I was 25, which I know is late compared to many. I only started contemplating retirement when I was 25. You guys, that is not late. Most people don't start thinking about it till in their 50s and 60s. Like you're okay. I promise you. At 25, you're all right. Which I know is late compared to many. I have about $12,000 earmarked for retirement so far, and I will be able to max my Roth, so a Roth IRA this year. When I researched compounding in October, I realized that I do not even need to save that much to grow a very durable base for retirement. I like the research. I would definitely research, because I realize that I do not even need to save that much to grow a very durable base in retirement. Guys, it depends. Like, you guys got to remember that if you're investing in a Roth IRA, that's invested in the market. And you're going to have up years, you're going to have down years. You're going to have up days, you're going to have down days. You're going to have up weeks, you're going to have down weeks, and on and on and on and on. The one thing that frustrates me about retirement accounts is they always say, we have an average rate of return. Well, you need to look at what the average rate of return means. That was one of the biggest educational things that happened with me, 5+ years ago, when I understood where the average rate of return was being calculated and where it was coming from. And that really opened my eyes to like what is really going on in our financial market. So yes, you are right. And if you are smart, and even if you manage your account yourself, it'll be way, way, way better because you're not paying any fees or stuff. However, I am wondering if I should be saving for a house instead of retirement. Everyone seems to expect you own a house by 30, and if you do not, okay, everyone can freaking fly a freaking kite and go jump off a cliff. That is what I'm going to say right at the start. It doesn't freaking matter what everybody is saying. Like, you should go jump off a cliff because that's what everybody's doing. No, you're going to go to the cliff and be like, why the frick would I do this? What is it that you want? All right. Everyone seems to expect you own a house by 30, and if you do not, you are seen as behind. If I do well at my job, in the next 4 years, I can save up for either retirement or a house, but I cannot save for both. I would ask, why can't you save for both? Are you trying to pay cash for a house? That's what I would ask. I am currently single and live in an apartment I like. I do not like DIY maintenance. I do not want kids, likely do not want a pet, and do not want to purchase unnecessary belongings just to fill rooms. Do I really need to aim for a house? Saving for retirement is not optional. Retirement savings and house down payment savings are the two big events people frantically save for. Okay, I had 3 different thoughts here. Okay, if you don't want a house, don't freaking buy a house. Don't. Because you can rent for way cheaper than you can ever buy a house for. The second thought is, who cares what everybody else is thinking? Who cares what everybody else is saying? Who cares what everybody else's opinion is? It doesn't freaking matter. It doesn't matter at all. The next thing is, why couldn't you do both? There's financial tools out there. You guys, my wife and I are, the thing that we invest money into right now for retirement planning, we also used for our house. And then we leveraged it both ways. We actually used it to buy a camper. We used it to pay, to leverage for our house, to close on our house. I mean, we've used it in so many ways. So there is a way to plan for retirement and to buy a house at the same time. You just need to study more financial tools. We're getting lost in what it is that the financial market, you guys, the financial people, the financial markets, the financial advisors, all these we're getting lost in what it is that they're telling us. You got to freaking remember, every financial tool was created for a reason. And that reason was created for a purpose to solve a problem. And people tell us to do things specifically for a reason, for a problem. Like, they need to make more money. That's their problem. So they're going to tell you based on that. Okay, you've got to remember these things. Now, even with that, it is good that we have advisors. It is good we have these different companies and these different financial tools. They were all created for a reason, but not all of them are equal. Not all of them are the same. Not all of them are the right fit for your situation. Okay? So I would advise this person, is it better to save for retirement or for a house? The first thing is, what is it that you want? I don't care if people say you need to own a house by 30. If that's something you don't want, if you don't want to get married, if you don't want to have kids, if you don't want to have pets, if you don't want to have unnecessary belongings and rooms, and you want to have a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment that's in an area that you really freaking like, then flip and do it. Who cares if you're not building equity? Every financial tool was created for a reason. You guys, you can be very, 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 very wealthy and rent your house or rent your apartment or rent a house. You know, I heard something the other day that like the majority of Americans' net worth is tied up in their house. Is that net worth? Because guess what? You can only access that if you go get a loan against that or if you sell it. Okay? That's not net worth. I mean, yeah, it's considered on our net worth balance sheet, but you're not building net worth there. Wouldn't it be so much cooler to have other things that created cash or grew? You know, like having a couple $1 million retirement account or investment is so much better than owning a house. Or having a business that pays you $20K a month is better than having $300,000 equity in your house. Like, we got to look at the goals here. We got to look at the plans. We got to look at, like, what is the goal, the purpose, the desire? You guys, I'm going to read this question right here. Do you have a 401k that employer matches? If so, you should at least contribute to maximize your employer match. I'm going to share with you right now. My wife works for a university in the state of Utah, a great university. They offer great insurance. They offer, I mean, her pay's not great, but she gets paid well for what she does. And they offer a very, 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 very good retirement planning system. We invest nothing into it. Zero. The only account that my wife and I have is the one that they invest into only. My wife has never put a penny into it. We took the option of waiving all of those things because we wanted the money and we're going and doing our other things. You know, this whole idea of, oh, but you get the pre-tax dollars as a tax write-off. You guys, do you realize there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of ways to get write-off and to bypass taxes? A retirement account or those things is not the only way. That's where creating a wealth creation plan is important. And I share this with you not because my wife and I's plan is perfect. I'm going to tell you, the way my wife and I manage our money and what it is that we do is probably wrong for most of you. I'll just say that because it takes a lot of discipline. It took a lot of education. And if you're not into those kind of things, it's not a good investment. And if you don't use it for what it can do, it is an awful investment. But this whole, you have to get your employer's match because you're throwing money away if you don't. I don't believe in that concept. I really don't. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your retirement accounts or your qualified money or all of those things. I'm not acting from a position of an advisor or security licenses or any of those things. I'm acting from the perspective of opening minds and eyes because there's not one right way. There's not one right way. And when I started studying those things and looking at those things, and my wife did too, we made the decision to bypass those things, okay? So you make that decision for yourselves. Good question here. Why do you save? Okay, from Charles_insights under the saving money. Why do you save? Comfort today or security tomorrow? People save with different goals in mind. What matters more to you, comfort now or safety in the future? I would say for me, both. I'm going to answer this from my perspective. I would say both. I'm a big believer in having money. I'm a big believer. There's these people out there that say leverage everything and get debt on everything and blah, 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 blah. I get that. I understand the leverage of money. I don't understand it 100%. I'll be honest with you. This person said trying to get that down payment. Yeah, I like that. I like to have a reserve. I I grew up watching my parents be good financially, then not, then good, 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 then not. Like I could sit here and do this all day long. It seemed like sometimes like we'd be really good financially, and then things wouldn't be, and then things would be, and then things wouldn't be. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that roller coaster. And so for me, now that I have my own family, I look at it from the perspective of, in my business, I always have 2 to 3 months worth of payroll always sitting in the bank account. And then personally, I always have money saved up for the perspective of you never know when you're going to come across that right opportunity. And I want to be able to execute on that. Plus, things happen. I never want to plan for emergencies. I never want to attract those things into my life, but things do happen. And I want to be able to invest and grow and build. Access to cash is a huge win. I'm looking at buying a little pickup truck. I think I mentioned that earlier. And I love the leverage point when I message somebody on Facebook Marketplace or KSL or something, and I message somebody and I say, hey, I'm interested in this truck, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, I have 4 other people that are interested. I'm like, okay, well, I have cash. And they'd be like, yeah, you come within the next couple of days, it's yours. Bingo. Now I'm not playing this freaking game between people and banks and all that, right? I love having that opportunity. But the next thing is I save to invest. I look at a savings account as an opportunity to compile. Okay, oh, I want to do this, but right now I don't have enough money for this. I'm going to save for that. And I'm going to get to where I have that amount of money, and when I do, I'm going to go execute. I look at saving as the purpose of investing. Okay? That's what I look at with it. And that's why I do the things that I do with my money. So do you save? Why do you save? Comfort today or security tomorrow? I'm trying to accomplish all of it. I want all of it. I want to earn money from my money. I want to use my money. I want to grow my money. I want to invest my money. I want to be able to leverage good opportunities at the moment. All of those things. Ooh, here's a good question. Why are you in debt? For me, it's simple because my emergency savings was non-existent, causing me to use credit cards when I had no money. Okay, cool. I'm in debt because my wife and I built a house. I bought my wife a car, and my goal is to get it paid off this year. We bought a horse trailer because we have cows, and that's the only debt I have. Yeah, we have a house, one vehicle, and a horse trailer, and then I have a truck with my business, but my business pays for all that. So I mean, it is debt, but the business pays for it. So that is it. No credit card, no student loans, no none of those things. I use debt to leverage. I use credit cards to leverage. I use credit cards to build. I use credit cards to grow. That's why I'm in debt. I'll be honest with you guys. People are terrified of debt. I cannot wait until my wife and I are $1, $2, $3, $4 million in debt or more, because that means we've accomplished our goal. We want to buy a ranch. We want to buy agricultural ground. We want to buy cows. We want to grow that thing that we enjoy. And I cannot wait for the right opportunity. Now, I could go out and do it today, but my wife and I have been patient, and we're waiting for that right opportunity. And when that right opportunity happens, we are going to leverage the heck out of it and go buy it and then grow it like crazy. Turn that investment into millions of dollars. There's a right way of doing things. All right, you guys remember? Oh, this might be a long one. Let's go through this. Remember, I hate the word budgeting. This person is asking budgeting setup. Let's go through it. Hello, this is my current situation, and I feel like I'm going in 50 different directions trying to figure out my future. Whew, this stuff gets me giddy, you guys. I love this crap. I'm 26 on my 4th year of my teaching job and trying to figure out my goals. I currently, hold on, I got to save this one because I got to message this person. I currently clear just under $3,400 after taxes and health insurance. I owe $40,000 in student loans and our public service loan forgiveness eligible after 6.5 more years. I do not have any other debt except for the occasional $100 to $275 credit card bill and paying off the engagement ring. Good for freaking you. You guys, $40,000 in debt is not bad at all. This is my current living situation expenses. These are based on my portion as my fiance and I make around the same amount of money and split 50-50. Rent, $1,142. We're downsizing after our lease is up in August to save money. Internet, $25. Electric, $45. See, variable. 45 to 125. Jiu-jitsu, 145 a month. Currently paused until April. Student loans, $31 a month. My grandmother agreed to help me with $200 a month as a graduation gift until it's forgiven. Frick, I wish I had a grandma like that. That's awesome. Engagement ring, $291 a month. I owe 6 months left, interest-free. Bingo. I was hoping there was no freaking interest on there. Gym, $29. Phone bill, $34. Food, $600 a month. I'm on my feet for 5 hours a day out of my workday and train almost daily after work. I buy in bulk, but need to lower this. Gas, 75 to 100. Car is great on gas and work commute is short. Car insurance, 108. Haircut, $40 and tip. Subscriptions, $13. Also pay for the occasional bulk dog food, toys, vet appointments, etc. for a dog. Current situation, future savings, $4,900. Credit card debt now $300. I spend $150 on tools and spark plugs to fix my car instead of spending $300 just to bring it to the mechanic. I spend $150 on tools and spark plugs to fix my car. Yeah, that ain't bad. I don't do any mechanic work, you guys. I did at the start, but then I realized it was a waste of money on my end. Overall, I make just under $54,000 in Florida with $0 income tax and have strong job stability. I'm currently in a grad school to get my master, in which will only add a few thousand per year and cost me another $15,000 in loans. But will follow me to move up in my career field, hopefully soon. And it'll increase my salary around $10K to start. So it'll take you a year and a half to pay it off. That's not terrible. $4,900 in my savings. I do not have a sinking fund. I've only put a few thousand down for retirement and would like to save for a house. The wedding is being paid for by my fiance's families, and we will be getting money from the wedding to pay for our honeymoon. I also have a $3,000 stipend coming in at the end of the school year and plan to work part-time in the summer while I take 2 classes. Separately, for long-term planning, my fiance owes $16,000 on her car and around $25,000 on her loans. I'm looking for some guidance on what to do next. I'd like to contribute to my retirement and save for a home. Florida is expensive and my income is not great compared to the cost of living for right now. At this point in my life, what would you suggest? My job currently has a compression pay problem, so I don't see myself going up in salary until at least the fall of 27 when I get my master's. Holy moly, that was a lot of information. Great job, though, being organized. I would get all of this into an Excel sheet, put your income at the top, fixed expenses, variable expenses, and then create the calculation on where it tells you where you are every single month. I would get really smart with your credit card. Make sure, don't freaking, you're at $300. One freaking slip and you could be at 1,000, and then 2, and then 4, and then 5. Don't be stupid with your credit card. I would really get a plan down. And I know the desire to buy a house, but I would get stupid aggressive on those student loans. I think the PSLF eligible means that there's no interest. I don't know a ton about those. There's so many different programs when it comes to student loans. I feel like I get one figured out, and then they come out with another acronym, PSLF, and blah, blah, blah. I can't freaking keep up with them. I think that means there's no interest. Take advantage of that like a madman. Pay those freaking things off. Cut as many expenses as you can. You'll get rid of things that are just not worth it. And figure out somewhere to increase income is what I would say. That's the hard part. I mean, if your dream is to be a teacher, you're just going to have to be, you got to live your dream. Don't go do something you hate because you're making $150,000 a year. You got to enjoy what it is that you're doing. But we just got to be smart here financially. I would advise this person, be smart with the credit card. It's at $300 now. Pay that stupid thing off. Do not use the credit card every month, but pay it off every month. And then I would get aggressive at those student loans, especially if they're interest-free. I would get those suckers paid off as fast as possible, because between you and your fiance, that's $65,000 plus a car. You're $70,000. You're a little over $80,000 just in debt, which isn't a bad thing. If you both make $50-something thousand a year, you'll be fine. You didn't put your fiance's income on here. Separately for long-term planning. Yeah. So I would put those calculations in there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a matter of getting focused. Downsizing on your rent's a great idea. I know the desires to buy a house, but I wouldn't do that until you're like got your things taken care of financially. Because if not, it's going to take you 20, 30 years to pay off those student loans. I mean, the student loan is $31 a month. I mean, come on here. If we look at $40,000 divided by 31, divided by 12, you guys, that's 107 years. Holy, it's going to take 170 years to pay off that loan. Now, your grandma's giving you $200, but I would try to figure out how to add every extra freaking thing to that you could. The next thing is I would make, if you're going to be paying, you know, right now you're paying $231, so $231 divided by 2. Oh, there's no interest. If there's no interest, just make the payment. If there is interest, split the payment into 2. Pay $115.50 on the 10th and pay it again on the 20th because you're going to pay your interest down quicker. If there is no interest, just get $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $800 every single month. The part-time, like doing the masters, that's great if it's really going to increase your income that much. But in the summertime, I would figure out how to freaking add another job. Like you said, you're going to work part-time. I'd figure out a full-time, do your school work in the evenings, weekend stuff. I would work as much as you possibly can. If you get aggressive, you could have those student loans paid off really quick. I get it, though. Sometimes people don't want to get that aggressive, so it depends on what you want to do financially. I'd be interested to put that whole thing into a financial thing and see where you're really at. But you guys, you got to know your income, you got to know your expenses, and then you got to create a plan on how to accomplish those things. This is under the budget spot, lazy-past 7737. Sorry, I didn't mention that at the start. All right, you guys, that has been an hour and 5 minutes for today. We went over multiple different things. Money is as good as the investment you make with it. You need to go through the money reset. You need to know your income. You need to create a wealth creation plan, and then you need to focus on increasing your income. And then the third thing was we answered some questions on Reddit. Hope you guys got some value from that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You guys go out, create the life that it is that you want to live. You are capable of it. You are 100% capable of it. So go do those things. You guys be the master and have a great day. See ya. By the way, I really enjoy this, so thank you.